It's the same thing. For some reason, you can hear me, can't you?
From the director of the explosive hits Hard Target and The Killer comes a new action-packed roller coaster ride of dynamite thrills.
Beware, he's an undercover. Be very careful.
In a city of us versus them.
Police, freeze! You better tell us which are the cops and which are the thieves.
The men who play cops and robbers.
To you, I'm a thief. To my mother, I'm a son. To the triads, I'm a hero.
Are playing for keeps.
Either we conquer the world. You think he'd let me live if he was here with a gun? Or you kill me tonight.
I'll get the human pollution and burn him.
In a game of life and death.
In this world, the man who holds the gun wins.
It's every man for himself. Hard Boiled marks the return of action film master John Woo, the internationally acclaimed director of the Jean-Claude Van Damme box office and tape rental champ, Hard Target, a director critics have called a movie magician, the hottest name in action anywhere, the best director of contemporary action films, a film critics declare a singular sensation, a blastum blowout, an action fan's dream, takes viewers straight through the roof and out of this world. Spectacular.
You murdered a cop. He was my friend.
The returns on investments will be blown sky high. Action films dominate the market. Millions of rental-priced units ship each year. The action genre accounts for tens of millions of rental revenue dollars annually, and the buck won't stop there either. With Hard Boiled, the hard numbers will add up. A guaranteed profitable home video genre. The top director of non-stop action product. A film with great buzz on the street. And now, a special winner-takes-all offer. Order by August 1st, and you'll qualify for a hot summer 3-pack.
No time to waste.
Buy 2 units of Hard Boiled and receive a third free. That's a savings of over $90 on your investment. And unlimited rental revenue.
It's your birthday.
Hard Boiled. Looking out for number 1. With a bullet. Coming this August to video stores everywhere.
Oh. Knackered after that trailer.
What an intro.
Took me ages to edit that together. But yeah, welcome, Sid.
Oh no! I wonder what the the rights are going to be. People like like Guns N' Roses are going to say.
Well,
I think Axl Rose is going to be like, "You owe me some money."
There will be. Well, I uploaded that video as a test, and there wasn't a claim. So there's a bit in the middle where the audio goes funny when it plays it on its own.
Okay.
We shall see. Right, let's play this film because it's a long one, and then we can get to the chat.
Okay. Let me just
You cue it
see
up.
if this works out better that way, because I can barely hear you. You sound really faint. So
Can anyone hear me? That's a good question. Right. Let's pause that. Now is that better? Get this set up. So yes, do some chat while we wait. There's Mike. RJ's here. Classic John Woo at his best. There's no word from Val Kilmer yet or Vanilla Ice, but we shall remain in hope. Bloody great movie. Josh is correct. Yeah, I don't know why it's
oh yeah,
Roses.
definitely. It's a masterpiece. This film is live action.
Oh, we'll get to a list of action films later. Hello, Andy. It's a hell of an ad. Your off-grid twerps. Hello. Nice. Let's rock. Yeah, he makes the best non-stop action product.
Oh yes, definitely. I mean, he pretty much, for someone who started off as wanting to be an actor, and then he became an assistant director at Shaw Brothers, and eventually became he became pretty much an assistant director to Chang Che, who made like loads of like 70s martial arts movies, and eventually got his own break as a filmmaker working with Golden Harvest. And fun fact is, one of like John Woo's his directorial debut, which was The Young Dragons, in 1973 or 4, I believe, and that was actually the first film that Jackie Chan had worked on as a action choreographer. And even this opening sequence over here, it's like John Woo had originally proposed this opening sequence in the jazz club for I think it was for The Killer, but then the producer Choi Hark was not too keen on the idea, and then he decided that he just he'll use it for another movie after he broke away from Choi Hark's company Film Workshop. So this was like the third film he did without Choi Hark in Hong Kong, and his last Hong Kong movie. So that was like that was pretty much his way of saying, I'm going to do my own thing. And this was his kind of like, I would see it as like a resume for him to kind of like go into Hollywood and say, this is what I can also do. But then Hollywood was aware of him because of The Killer, thanks to Quentin Tarantino.
Yes. This seems to have a different intro to my Blu-ray.
It's a bit of a jumpy print, isn't it? Like
it is. Someone's loved this one. So this is the X rental, so that's probably why. If it keeps playing up, I've got a backup, so I've got the retail, just in case.
Right.
But I will get up and adjust the tracking. Hang on.
I remember them days. Tracking.
There we go.
That's more like it.
Technology.
God, I remember them days, the tracking and certain tapes. You had to just get it right at the right pinpoint.
The other way.
That's it.
Right, where are we at? We're outside.
Yeah, I mean, guns smuggled into Hong Kong, and no, because that was the idea that pretty much John Woo wanted to make this movie about. But then originally, it was meant to have been a different type of film, which was something along the lines of Serpico, or even something along the lines of what's that movie? Was it Copycat? One with Jamie Lee Curtis, something along those lines. Like it was supposed to be where Chow Yun-fat's kind of investigating a serial killer that was poisoning baby food, which was actually based on a true kind of event that happened in Hong Kong. And Tony Leung was supposed to play that character, but they thought it's a bit too close for comfort. And then it was the guy who played Superintendent Pang, Sir Philip Chan, who was an actual police officer in Hong Kong, which is why he plays a cop in nearly every film he's in, except for Double Impact, where he played the bad guy.
A bit of a change for him.
Yeah. And then also, and then that he said that he used to run the unit of undercovers, and he said, I want to make a movie about the undercovers and include the whole gun crime thing, which was kind of going rampant in Hong Kong at the time. And this tea house is now actually closed as well, where they actually shot this restaurant scene. And when they did, neighbors had actually, residents had all complained about the noise from all the fake guns. The cops came up, they said, oh, what's going on? They saw it was John Woo and Chow Yun-fat and said, hey, listen, we love your movies, carry on.
Yes, because this is hang on. It's not the Tartan DVD. This is the Tartan VHS, and it has no trailers. So did they introduce a whole new generation to Asian cinema?
Oh, yes,
definitely.
Definitely. They had a lot of Japanese, a lot of Korean movies they introduced me to Korean cinema, to be fair. I mean, I've watched so many, Nowhere to Hide, which is a good one. Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance, and all those different ones, and all. I've still got quite a fair few Tartan Asia Extreme DVDs at home as well upstairs.
Yeah, I don't think I've got any. I've got a couple of horror films, but no martial arts. Because back in the West Wales video shop I used to go to, they didn't really stock anything like this. So it was years later when it came out on DVD that I got to see these films.
Yeah, I just kind of learnt about them just through friends and stuff. I think the first time I saw this film was on Bravo.
Yes, Bravo was good for films.
Yeah, they did a big season back in the 90s, I think it was. I was in high school, of loads of John Woo movies and films like A Chinese Ghost Story and loads of other martial arts, whatever, or even gun based crime thrillers with Chow Yun-fat in them. And it was just like that opened my eyes to a lot of Hong Kong movies because I only back then I only knew about Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee, and a few people here and there.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's the
It's
flying
kicking
part
off.
now. That's it. And yep, there had to be two guns. There had to be two guns in that actual bird
Yeah.
cage because yeah.
Have you
Fun
played the
fact:
game
that
Stranglehold?
guy, the one that
Oh,
just shoots, the one that in the brown jacket,
Hmm.
he was the same person. I forgot the guy's name. He's a Japanese actor, and he was in Kill Bill, the one that Lucy Liu decapitates.
There
Yeah,
you go.
he's like a really famous Japanese actor, but I can't remember his name. Maybe someone can actually put that guy's name in there. I read it somewhere, something Kimura, whatever. I don't know what his name is, but
Yeah.
yeah, he just wanted
What's
to
the
be in a John Woo movie.
What's the purpose of the birds on the table? You got any
This is
idea?
it is actually like a thing where in Hong Kong back then they used to have like restaurants where people it's like a tradition they'd have like these birds in cages. It was like kind of like a symbol, a status symbol kind of thing. And then you know, it's got you know, you see a lot of these old kung fu movies where they have like these birds when they're having their tea or whatnot, and they're just there like just kind of playing with these birds who are supposed to be singing a song or whatnot and playing. And it's kind of
Okay.
like, yeah, the bird's nice.
Is
And
that not getting shot?
oh yes, I know. This film has the highest number of gunshots that have been recorded on record in a movie.
Yes, and then I think it's got like a 300 or something. 300 people killed, 320 people killed in the film.
It's just, it was insane. I mean, even John Woo said that the body count in this movie was ridiculously high.
Yeah, but you got squibs, you got two guns, everything's kicking off here. But the setups must be crazy because it's like, how do they reshoot the scene if someone messes up? Because they've got bullet holes, rub litter
I know
everywhere.
it's unlike Hollywood where they have union laws where they could only work a certain amount of hours a day on set. I mean, Hong Kong movies they kind of like just go for an extended period of time. And there you'd see like kind of all the neon lights in Hong Kong which weren't really are not even there anymore. Apparently, they've kind of got rid of a lot of them, and you know, it's just a nice little kind of shot there.
Yeah, everyone's grabbing the
And
birds.
oh yes, the famous sliding down the banister. And bam, 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 slow motion, and then boom, that's it.
Yeah,
They're dead.
came up with that on the spot, didn't he? Because it sort of went that way.
Exactly.
Because yeah, this is more action in this first 10 minutes than there is a lot of action films that were made at that time.
Definitely, exactly. This is just like kind of like, I mean, when we saw like his one of his previous movies, which was The Killer, his last one of his they did Once a Thief just before this, but The Killer had like a really big action sequence at the start, but it was just kind of shorter than this one. But this one just went all out. It's like, wow, you know.
Yeah, what is the budget? $4.5 million. But somehow it made $785 worldwide. Because I don't think that's accurate, but
maybe in Hong Kong it didn't. I know in Hong Kong the
do
box
well,
office
apparently.
wasn't that great, but then worldwide it actually made a lot of money on like in foreign markets, and then also the video market as well. It did made a lot of money.
Oh yes, Taiwan got it on March 21st, 1992. Then there's lots of Hong Kong in April 92, South Korea July 92. It went through a lot of festivals in Europe and America. Then I don't think actually. Where are we? United Kingdom, 8th of October 1993. So it must have got a cinema release then.
Yeah, I just love this shot when he just kind of rolls over the table and you see that the flower just kind of popping up like the bullet's just missing him. And then boom. That's it.
So
like,
much preparation went into each shot of this. Yeah, gets covered in that explosion, covered in flour, and then
blood.
Bullets to the
blood
head.
of his enemy.
Oh, there was a laser disc of this in the 90s. Chow Yun-fat's not taking any prisoners.
I missed out on the laser discs. I missed out. I mean, laser discs weren't a thing when I was able to actually buy movies myself. No one really had a laser disc player that we knew of. Not many people did. I think it was
No.
DVD.
Oh, hang on, you're breaking up. Hello?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
can
Oh,
you
there
hear
you
me
are.
now?
You're back.
Yeah, like I said, I think DVDs got really kind of like moved to this movies, and that's when movies were kind of like that's what kind of like took on VHS really.
Yeah. Because for somehow, despite the fact all other films and American films got edited to shit in the 90s, there's only 7 seconds or 5 seconds of this that's actually cut out of the 90s UK
Yeah, that was
VHS.
the beatdown scene. Yeah,
But
that
yeah,
was
crazy.
cut because it was on the I think the Tartan DVD of the Hong Kong version. It kind of showed like a comparison of the scene that was cut in comparison to what we saw in the VHS version.
Right.
He played both scenes side by side. And yeah, and I think that's an actual military playground, or a military graveyard that they actually filmed the actual the scene at.
Because, yeah.
Is why you see a big
anywhere.
big cross, but then yeah, but then of course because John Woo being that he is a devout Christian, so he kind of wanted to at least include some sort of Christian iconography in the film as well.
Okay.
And yet one of the gangsters he killed was an undercover cop, so of course he didn't know.
Yeah. Yeah. How would you know? This happened in all these shows, like The Punisher does the same.
Exactly. It's either kill or be killed.
Mm.
And just
Yeah,
burning the file. Yep, like you didn't exist.
I said, yeah, it's really quite bad. Yeah, this guy did not exist. Go away. But let's have a look. Hardboiled and A Better Tomorrow
Oh yeah.
is bloody movies from Hong Kong.
Here we go. Here comes. Oh yeah, Better Tomorrow is a classic as well. That's just like
John Woo.
I mean, the fact that this is likely to get a great. They're going to be released on Blu-ray in the West soon, so I'm kind of looking forward to that as well. Because Shout Factory, and here comes Mr. Wu himself
Yes.
playing the jazz bar owner. And
Yeah,
fun fact is, the only reason why so Chow Yun-fat got more sick because he said to him that why don't you play the owner? Because Tony Leung had the better character in this movie. And then Chow Yun-fat said to him, why don't you be like the jazz bar owner, and then that way his scenes won't be cut out of the movie. And he's playing like an ex-cop. And yeah.
Oh, hang on.
Yeah, part of my intro.
So yes, for all of Sid thoughts on John Woo films, check out his playlist for what is it? John Woo-ary, is it?
Yeah, I've done a few videos. I only managed to do 3, so I was like, hopefully, don't know what next year is going to be. And the library hit happens now. Like, wow.
Yeah, just now. Why did he put the book back?
But even if he did, but then because he had actually gotten rid of all of his fingerprints and he wiped them off, so he knew what he was doing. So even if he was to carry the gun on him, it would be a bit too suspect. Maybe he thought, hey, I can, if I was to get stopped, they'll find nothing on me.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess I was sort of thinking because surely you could get the metal detectors to get you in to Chinese libraries. Otherwise, you could just walk in with a gun. But yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Libraries in one place. I mean, apparently Hong Kong is very strict on gun laws as well. So,
yes,
just imagine,
yeah, they
if
had
you
to
get
import
caught
all the
with a gun.
guns. Yeah, they had to import the guns from here, England, and then they had to be checked and all this before they could use them. And every time.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, of course they had to have all those strict laws as well, didn't they? So.
But yes, so after this, Mr. Wu went to Hollywood.
Yeah, and he did Hard Target.
So where have I got? Yep. And then he did most of these. I've got Windwalkers or.
Was Windwalker ever even released on VHS yet? Or?
I think it was around that time. I think it was It might not have been, but yeah.
Because I think the last film that came out on VHS was probably wasn't it one of the Star Wars movies? That
Yeah,
was like the
Return of
last
the
of the
Sith,
VHS.
Revenge of the Sith. Yeah, it's
Yeah, that was
very
like the
rare,
last of the
expensive, but
VHS.
yeah, the Van Damme
Quite old.
edited,
Wow.
uncensored version.
I used to have that VHS. Yeah,
But
I had
yeah,
many of them.
then he ended up doing a TV
Yeah,
movie with Dolph Lundgren, which was hard to have. Was it Blackjack with Dolph Lundgren?
Blackjack. That's it. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that was meant to be a pilot for a TV show, but then
Hmm.
just didn't happen.
No, I think it's free on YouTube if anyone wants to see it. But
Yeah,
it's nothing
because
like
he also did another pilot at the same time as well, which was called Once a Thief, which was kind of based on his own movie Once a Thief, but then
right.
it was released as on UK VHS. It was released as Violent Tradition. The pilot was,
Ah,
and yeah, John Woo's Violent Tradition with like it's got like Sandrine Holt, Michael Wong's in it, and forgot the other guy's name. It's like yeah, it's filmed partly in Hong Kong and in Vancouver, I think it was. Yeah, where the film set.
no. Now, was there a Netflix film or something? The Killer remake?
Oh, the Killer remake. Yeah, that was on Peacock. Yeah,
Peacock. Okay.
with Nathalie Emmanuel. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
watched
didn't
it.
get it.
I watched it. It was okay. It was not really. You can't really compare it to like the original, which is I would say is that was John Woo's masterpiece overall, not just in terms of action, but like as a film in overall. I would say The Killer is definitely is probably one of his strongest film as a filmmaker, as a storyteller. It's just a
Right,
beautiful work of art.
because he did
And,
direct
oh,
that one as well.
yeah, he directed the remake as well, but then I thought it was okay. I mean, he had Eric Cantona in it as well, so
Yeah, I just saw that. I thought, what's he doing in
and
it?
yeah, so he had like an international cast, and he's actually done pretty well. It was okay, and it could have been better, but then you can't really always remake a classic, but it just wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Oh, that's good, though, isn't it? So yeah,
Yeah.
then Silent Night. I still haven't seen Silent Night. That was the year before.
Silent Night was enjoyable. It's not like an amazingly perfect movie, but I thought it was actually quite interesting. The fact that it has no dialogue in the movie
Ah, right.
and it's all
Oh
pretty
yeah.
much almost. I mean, that might have been a bit of a kind of like a misstep for like in terms of selling wise if they had like
Yeah.
dialogue in the movie, but then that would have been interesting. But it would have probably sold better. But I
Yeah.
think it was actually it was still an enjoyable movie, but in terms of the action, because they've even kind of like did a little tribute to Hard Boiled in that film as well, especially towards the end.
Aha.
Yeah,
Manhunt as well. I haven't seen that either.
which one? Sorry.
Manhunt from 2017.
Oh, I saw that on Netflix. I did. I thought it was okay, but then I thought towards the end it just got a bit silly, and I was like, nah, you know what? It's not as enjoyable. I mean, but again, it was one of those films where the action was still pretty good, but then it was well shot. But the film itself, it just wasn't all that. His daughter was, I think his daughter was also one of the was in the cast of that film as
Yes, I
well.
saw that one. Did you
Yeah,
ever play Stranglehold, the sequel to this?
years ago. I remember my friend had it at his house, and he had the PlayStation 3. And I think one of the days after work, we decided, oh, you know what? Hey, let's just check this out. But yeah, it's actually it was a good game.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check it out.
Theresa Mo, yeah,
There she is.
very very talented, like award-winning actress who's like she, she's very versatile. I mean, she can actually do stuff like comedy and like she's very well known in comedy, but then she's
Okay.
also she's done films in like in Hong Kong where she's won like numerous awards, and she's like pretty much very kind of like a highly respected actress as well. So this kind of elevated the kind of like this what kind of movie it is, because you had actors like Chow Yun-fat, who's a regular. Tony Leung has already done Bullet in the Head with him previously to this, and then he had like Philip Chan, he had Theresa Mo, and then he's also got Anthony Wong, who's like again a very kind of like highly respected award-winning actor.
Oh,
And he had like a really big a cast of like really well-known, well-respected people in this movie. And of
yeah.
course, the lovers tiff. Oh well.
I'm just going to turn the volume up on the VHS. I think it's dubbed.
Yeah, this is the dubbed version. Yeah, because I had the same VHS and it was dubbed.
Yeah, I always remember Police Story dub. It was the first version I saw, where they're all cockneys.
Yeah, I think nearly all of Jackie Chan's movies when I first saw them, they were all the export dub.
Yeah, because people don't watch subtitles.
No,
Better
probably not.
Tomorrow is better than the first. I have heard that.
Oh, not really. I kind of like it could
Shame I
have been
can't.
better than the first. The ending was amazing, but like the shootout was really good. I mean, that was one film where John Woo and Choi Hark were clashing because Choi Hark wanted to take over and focus the movie more on like Chow Yun-fat's character and Dean Shek's character in New York, whereas John Woo wanted to tell the story of the two brothers, which were like Kit and Ho, which was T Long and Leslie Chung, of course, their characters in Hong Kong and such. But then, because eventually the cut that they submitted was about three hours long or something, but then they had to condense it. So a different team had to condense it. Which is why some of the scenes, especially the old VHS of A Better Tomorrow 2, you can see like there's like it looks like it just jumped to something completely different. They smoothed it out a bit more on the DVDs and then the Blu-ray release that came out in the trilogy box set. But then, but you can still see there were scenes that were like literally, you could tell they were a bit missing because when you see the trailer, there are scenes that weren't included.
Aha. Yeah, I think Hard Target's my favorite, but yeah, I think I prefer. Who said? Where is it? Broken Arrow. I do prefer Broken Arrow over Face Off.
Nah, you see, for me, Broken Arrow was that was just a safe movie for him to kind of just please the other studios. Like, saying, look, I could do a studio-friendly movie with like
Let's have a look.
not as violent action.
Yeah, because it's only a 15, and all the others.
No,
Apart from
it was
Paycheck
kind
are
of more
18.
clean because they're trying to aim for that whole kind of PG-13 kind of market in America. But he's saying that I could do one of those safe. And Kwan Hoi San here, who's like a veteran actor. He was also
What's he in?
in Jackie Chan's Project A as the police as the chief of police. I think it was. Yeah, he was kind of a
Yes,
comic.
he always looks familiar to me. And then,
But then he's done so many films. He's been in like loads of movies since like the Shaw Brothers days, and yeah, very well respected actor. And of course,
sorry, carry on.
no, it's actually at the moment it's Shout Factory. Shout Factory in America have actually Shout Studios have bought the rights for the Golden Princess catalog, and
yes.
including all the John Woo movies. But that's in the States. But hopefully there will be someone in the US. There will be a sub license for the UK to actually pick up and distribute these movies, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait. I mean, I've still got the fan made the fan made Blu-ray, the custom one, which was Hong Kong Rescue for this movie. And Gary, I don't know, where's Gary gone?
Press the wrong button.
Oh.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, because like I say, that's the one I have. And even in this movie, I see before one of the guys was actually Lo Meng, who was in, and this guy here, that's Tung Wai. And most of you Westerners with the sunglasses, most of the Western audiences would remember him as Lao in Enter the Dragon, the little student of Bruce Lee.
Oh, bloody hell.
Yeah, he's actually like a very respected action choreographer. He actually did some of the action choreography for this movie and A Better Tomorrow. And yeah, and he's directed films and he's very well respected. And Lo Meng, who is also one of the other gang guys. And over here you see with Johnny Wong, Mad Dog. That's Philip Kwok or Kwok Choi from the five. They were both in Five Deadly Venoms, and they were both part of the Venom mob. They made so many movies together, and yeah, and they worked.
But yes,
Mad Dog was absolutely crazy. He was my favorite character in this movie. Growing up, I thought he was just so badass.
Yes, because he wasn't originally in the script. They just
because he was one of the action choreographers, and they just kind of
Yes.
thought, let's just include him because he was well known because of his kung fu movies, and they thought,
Right.
why not just give him a role in this movie as well? And he thought,
He's
okay,
got
yeah,
the look.
I'll play like a henchman.
Hey, this horrific waffles is back. Nice to see you here. But yes, talking of American films by John Woo.
Ah, I
Mission
mean,
Impossible 2.
yes, when Tom Cruise single-handedly stopped coronavirus, the prototype of Corona,
Yeah, 20 years early.
definitely, yeah.
I was very disappointed when I came out of the cinema seeing that the first time.
It was not as good as the first, and I thought it was a very kind of like it was one of those movies where John Woo was just there to direct. He had no control over it whatsoever.
No.
But it is his most one of his most successful movie, like
Yeah.
box office wise as well.
But yeah, there's plenty of dubs in that one.
Yeah. And Anthony Wong, yeah, again, one of the yes, definitely, I agree. I was the same when DVDs came out. I was thinking that they should not have regions,
Yeah,
like region locked DVDs. It just kind of like just creates a lot of nonsense.
yeah. Not like the studio's not going to get the money of someone buying it if they buy it in America.
Exactly.
But luckily, it's got Chow Yun's
Yeah.
got a big gun.
It's like Chow Yun-fat having his own little Dirty Harry moment. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I did read
I'm
that
gonna
John Woo
get
did base him on
this
Dirty Harry and Serpico and everyone back in the day.
Yeah, this is pretty much like, just this is his moment that he had in this movie. I thought, okay.
Punk. Oh, pistol whip.
That's it. It comes out, freeze frame, and then
Yeah, I did wonder. I thought, it does that every so often. It freezes frame on someone, doesn't it? I think, is it my disc skipping again?
The original idea, maybe it could have been, but
The height difference was a problem because.
and I think we'll need subtitles for both of them as well. Yeah, you got my face. You got my face. I am you. I am you. You are me.
I want to take his
I took his
face
face off. Hey.
God of Gamblers. I haven't seen that one. I saw it in his
That's a
list.
good movie. That's a really good movie. That is. It's funny. It's a good kind of like comedy and some great action beats. Not as much action, but it actually was kind of like a good comedy movie because Chow Yun-fat himself is pretty much known for doing a lot of comedies, especially in Hong Kong.
Ah,
Yeah, it's like his action movies is just what the West know him for, which is what's
yes.
more appealing. Because of association with John Woo, but then a lot of his more big hits were usually like a lot of like these kind of like silly rom-com comedies, and and also like just like dramas, and like he's actually kind of like that's why he was one of the most highest grossing actors. Like after him and Jackie Chan were like they ruled the 80s when it comes to Hong Kong cinema. They were so bankable. And even this scene here, because you kind of get to see this Tung Wai, the little kid that Bruce Lee that was teaching at the start of Enter the Dragon, playing like a different character here. He's done loads of TV, and even last year he was in one of like the best films of last year, which was Stuntman. And his acting in that was absolutely amazing. Tung Wai, I reckon he deserves awards for that movie. He's just playing like a washed-up, stunt choreographer.
Okay, I have to check that out.
It's a really good film. It's really kind of like people who love martial arts and Hong Kong movies and action movies. You'll definitely enjoy watching Stuntman. I thought it was such a great movie to watch. Really good drama.
Because he's fallen out. John Woo's had a bit of a falling out with Chow Yun-fat, hasn't he?
I wouldn't say not really kind of a falling out because I know they were supposed to do Red Cliff together, but then for some reason, someone must have advised him to do Dragon Ball Evolution, which was just kind of like instead of Red Cliff. You're thinking, what? Come on.
Yeah, one's going to be.
You know, the movie that made a lot of Dragon Ball fans cry when they saw it for the wrong reasons.
Because yeah, there it is. 2009's Dragon Ball Evolution. It's got a 2.5 on that IMDb, so it's very
Wow,
good.
that extra star is actually that extra 1.5 is generous.
Yeah, because I remember, was it Pirates of the Caribbean, whatever, 4 or 5. They said, "Oh, Chow Yun and Fat's in it. It's going to be amazing," and then he barely does anything, does he? I can't even.
Yeah, he was barely in that film.
Yeah.
Um,
But yeah, let's have a look. The only other thing, some lots of stuff I've not heard of. A few Monkey King films.
yeah, he played like I think it was the Jade Emperor or something. Yeah, he played that because I remember I've only seen the Monkey King film. I've only seen the first one, which is where Donnie Yen played like the Monkey King in that movie.
Yes, that's the one I've seen.
I think I saw that on Netflix. Yeah, I saw it on Netflix. I did that one. I haven't seen the sequels because Donnie Yen refused to be in them because he thought that is just that he was kind of got fed up with the makeup that they had to do because it was so kind of like
I bet
a lot of work sitting in chairs, and he goes, I just couldn't really do it. And even I can imagine doing kung fu, wearing all those kind of like doing martial arts choreography, wearing all that stuff must be really kind of like
yeah, because
challenging as well.
if you move too much, it's going to come off.
Yeah, exactly.
So he also did Return of the God of Gamblers in '94.
Yeah, that was Return of the God of Gamblers. That was a good sequel. That was
Okay. But then he went American with Replacement Killers, Corruptors, Anna and the King, and Bulletproof Monk.
Chow Yun-fat's last Hollywood, the Hong Kong movie at that time before he went to Hollywood was, I think it was in 1995 or 6. It was Peace Hotel.
Yeah, 95 it says here, but it could be anything.
Kind of like a Western type of movie. Now, this sequel, I just love the way that it's kind of like pieced together and edited.
Yes.
It's like these guys walking and you got the motorcycles kind of cutting through, and then it's just you see that kind of wide shot with all those kind of lined up, and I thought that was just like I thought the coolest thing ever. I think it's an Australian guy who did the music. His name is Michael Gibbs. He's like a jazz performer.
Ah, yes.
And yeah, his music score was just absolutely amazing.
Because Wu is a bit of a jazz fan.
And I thought
first time he could get any jazz in.
Exactly, it was kind of different in comparison to like the usual music score that you would hear in a lot of 90s or 80s Hong Kong movies, and I thought this had like a different kind of feel to it.
Yeah, then we get this tracking shot around the warehouse, so you know where everything's going to kick off in a minute.
I know, yeah. That's what I love about the John Woo's like movies, especially his Hong Kong movies. You got these tracking shots of like the environment and everything, like this. You get to kind of see what's going on. It's very kind of reminiscent to like what Scorsese usually does when he's kind of like pans the camera around and you see everything. Or even Brian De Palma, like when he's like this shot.
Yeah,
like
sets up something that's going to happen later.
Yeah. Or even like in Untouchables, when you see the camera just kind of like going up through the hotel, and then Al Capone's reading like newspaper in his bed, and like that's just kind of like another great kind of like I think something that John Woo kind of like adapted into his movies, like just the movement of a camera can kind of like make a lot of difference.
Certainly is. Postman Fights Back. Haven't heard of that one.
That was probably, I think, one of the first couple of movies of the director Ronnie Yu, who's known for directing Bride of Chucky in Hollywood, and and he also did that Jet Li's movie Fearless. He's done quite a few classic movies, as well as Brandon Lee's only Hong Kong movie, which was Legacy of Rage. And that was okay. It was with Lung Kai-yan. It was great. It was okay. It was a pretty good movie.
Okay.
Very underrated.
Laser Mission is quite bad though.
Oh yeah.
Which is a shame.
I think it's one of the
Yeah, this sometimes HDUC, some of them haven't got squibs on and they're just falling backwards for no reason.
I know, and then there's one of the scenes, because watching this in blue on the Blu-ray, I've seen now there's one of the shots where he goes into like when that a mad dog kind of like blows up or something here, and then in one of the offices when he's shooting people up,
Yeah.
and then you see him kind of flying back, and in the Blu-ray you can actually see the wire that's actually is hanging out.
Stupid
And I'm
Blu-ray.
like, exactly. You never used to never noticed it when it was on that one there, that guy there. You'd see the wire.
Yeah.
I don't think you could see it on VHS because I never noticed it before.
No.
But then only
Good
when I
old.
watched it on Blu-ray, it became more apparent.
Oh, yep, I see it there. Guy's flying with his legs in the air. And yep, there's a wire there. I'm a bit behind on it.
It's like, but then this was done before when they had the technology. Now because you won't see any wires now because they can digitally remove them.
Yeah, the guy that gets
But it's
taken
just
into the back of the lorry, you can see it's a dummy in the HD version.
exactly.
But yeah, a lot of people falling awkwardly on things now.
And just Mad Dog, just being Mad Dog, just killing people, making it look cool.
Yeah. But yeah, there we go, squibs. And then yeah, it's just got this fucking terminating
Grenades.
everyone.
It's just the editing in this is just amazing in this
Yeah,
movie.
where do you start? Put these together.
You know, it's just because everything's kind of more visible. You see what's going on, but the way it's just shot together, it just kind of flows perfectly. Especially when that's like nearly in all of like John Woo's movies, especially in his Hong Kong movies. The editing is just like it's done really well. I think it was David
Yes.
Wu who's his usual
Uh-huh.
bullet in the head. I think it's an unsung masterpiece from John Woo because that was at that time when it came out. It was one of the most expensive films, alongside with Jackie Chan's Operation Condor in Hong Kong, because John Woo had actually kind of been stuck into like because he made this movie independently. Originally, it was meant to be A Better Tomorrow Part 3, but then because Choi Hark had actually just took that film from him and directed it himself, John Woo left. And then he made Bullet in the Head, which was his own kind of like Vietnam War story. And because he spent so much of his own money, it was so very kind of like expensive. And one of the reasons why it failed at the box office. But it's one of those where like it did really kind of like it was really well appreciated in the West in festivals, and also it's like I would say it's one of his strongest films. And I thought it was such a well-made movie. I've watched it so many times on DVD. I watched it on I think it was on either Channel 4. They played it late night.
Definitely would
I
be that
watched it
channel.
then, and also I think then I've got it on. I watched it there, and I also had the Hong Kong Legends DVD, which I still have. Hopefully, we'll be getting a 4K restored movie version of that movie because it's brutal, it's unflinching, but it's such a great movie. Fun fact: um, Bullet in the Head is actually Tom Cruise's favorite John Woo film as well.
Aha. Not Mission Impossible 2.
No, it's not. No, it's not Mission Impossible. Him being a fan, he said he loved Bullet in the Head out of all of his movies the most because it's actually a really good story as well.
So yeah, not Sly's Bullet in the Head though.
Oh, not the Walter Hill one. As great as much as I do love Walter Hill movies,
Yes.
but it was just not really. That was terrible.
A funny Chow Yun fact: Seventh Curse.
Oh yeah, it's like kind of like a very cheesy kind of like supernatural horror action thriller, kind of like taking a riff on like kind of it's about an adventure novel story called Wisely. And he's the main character, but I think Chow Yun Fat plays a supporting character from what I remember. I still haven't got the Blu-ray for this movie, but it's just full of like monsters and whatnot and crazy.
Because I watched Karate Ghostbuster with Jackie Chan.
Yes,
last
I've got
month.
the Blu-ray for that movie, Spiritual Kung Fu. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've got that.
they just changed the name just to be popular with Ghostbusters because there's ghosts in it.
Yes, because that was what Ricky Baker had said on his interview on the Blu-ray. He said that his friend who had the deal said, "Why not call it Karate Ghostbusters?" Karate Kid and Ghostbusters were both big movies at the time.
But yeah, it's neither of those films. Apart from he gets trained to do these special moves by these weird
Yeah,
ghosts that he pisses on.
Yeah, I know.
Honestly, I think with a film like this, VHS is the perfect medium for watching it. A widescreen VHS would probably be ideal.
I don't know. When you watch a movie like this in HD, it's different though. It's like
It's
you
like
know,
watching a different film. I will give
it's like watching
HD.
something more recent. You see, it's kind of like having watched so many of Hong Kong movies on nearly every format. I would say that the Blu-ray makes a big difference on like just the production value. It makes it look like it was actually made with like really good technology, good kind of like resources and everything. Where we know that Hong Kong movies were made on the cheap and on the on quick time as well,
Yeah.
because they always have a deadline that they're trying to make a film. And what they tend to do is when the film is shot, they usually on set or somewhere in a different room on the same set, they'd actually have someone editing the movie. Like they'll go through all the dailies. So just to make sure that they actually got the movie together.
Can't blame them for that when they got so much going on.
Oh yes, and Anthony Wong, he was like, yeah, he actually won like best actor for the I think one of the other movies he made around about the same time called
Yeah.
The Untold Story. Yeah,
I don't see if this had any awards, but
he's won loads of awards. He's actually very well regarded. Like he plays crazy characters, but he also plays anything else in between. And he's like again one of the most like well regarded Hong Kong actors of all time. I mean, and he hated working with John Woo.
yeah, I did see that in the trivia. He didn't like this.
He didn't like the movie. He didn't like his character. He said
No.
he had nothing much to do, and
That
did
is
not.
so true.
But I thought he was actually an effective bad guy. I mean, it just shows that
Yeah, by not having much to do.
he was pretty good to watch. And I thought, okay, I need to see more of this guy's movies too. And then when he did a movie like The Untold Story, which is probably hands down the most vile, disgusting film I've ever seen, most disturbing movie I've ever watched. I don't think I'd ever watch it again. Yeah,
Okay.
because I mean, I can watch violent movies, I can watch gory films and whatnot, but if it's anything to do with like harm against kids in the movie, I'm like, I can't watch that. I mean, that's just something I can't sit with. I'm like, no.
Yeah, this is why John Woo changed this story, didn't it? Because
plus because that was also based on a true story.
It was a true
too,
story,
like,
so it would hurt people as well.
it would, it was a bit rather insensitive, and I thought, yeah, it's not a good movie.
Yes. When they're shot and filmed, they always look good on Blu-ray or 4K because they're treated proper. The indie labels respected that, but the big studios can ruin them with DNR worse AI. Yes.
Yeah, true. Which is why when films like, especially Hong Kong movies, when they're being released by like Eureka 88 or even Arrow, because they kind of put in that care and that kind of like attention to detail. And when you watch these movies again on Blu-ray, it just looks absolute. They look amazing.
Yeah. Because this VHS is a bit darker than the Blu-ray, but it's quite a good picture.
Yeah, no, because the version that I got, which was the Hong Kong Rescue Blu-ray, was actually originally sourced from a Japanese Blu-ray, which was the first ever only HD version of Hard Boiled that was available, but it never had English subtitles. So the guy had actually got some English subtitles, put it on, and then packaged it together. But then I'm looking forward to an actual proper 4K version of this movie, which would, I think, especially on a new TV, would look good.
Yeah, and then Chow Yun-fat makes his entrance and just wipes out everyone.
I always thought this is the coolest entry to any action sequence. It's
It is. Of course, it's completely ridiculous. The sparks flying. He's not aiming at anyone. He's just spraying bullets.
Because he knows Chow Yun-fat's bullets already know who they're going to hit. Exactly.
Sparks, explosions, people flying everywhere. I guess the rule was if Chow Yun-fat's flying down, then just all you extras just fall over. But I'm not sure how it works. He dropped down through a hole, but then somehow he slowly abseiled through the warehouse. But yeah, and then of course must be American cars that get exploded when they get shot at.
Or John Woo cars, they don't laugh. They just get smashed up if they do. Yeah.
Good old Cynthia, yes. One of my favourites, as everyone's commenting.
Oh yes, wonderful lady, really
Yeah.
wonderful lady. She
Did
was
you speak
very
to her?
polite, very professional, very kind of like down to earth as well. So
Yeah, she's back in the UK in May, I think. She's doing.
so you're inviting her for a cuppa?
She is coming to Bristol, which is only about 45 minutes away, but she's all over the country in May. She's going to be doing I'd not taught
Black Black
martial arts stuff. It's not Black
Oh,
Creek, no. It's just martial arts academies she's visiting.
ah,
But you can pay to go meet her or go meet her. I don't know. I have to try and work that one out. 'Cause I missed her last year, and Jeff's going to be seeing her in Germany next month or this month. It's February now,
nice.
but I can't remember the film. A new film's coming out in 4K. One of our old films is coming out in 4K, and she's doing a screening and signings.
Oh wow, okay.
But I can't remember the name of it. But yes, she probably doesn't know I exist anymore. But yeah, although I do email her occasionally to get updates for Black Creek, but there isn't any at the moment.
He adores me more than Ian.
Who is this? Who is this person?
Who is this Alucard?
AI. It says AI. Is he okay?
Uh,
Yes. Yeah. I mean, interviewed her twice. I know she's a lovely lady. But yeah, somehow she's always on the move. She's always in a different country. She's always walking up a hill or diving underwater, and then still has time to make films.
yeah, and oh wow, man,
It's
this
just
this whole scene is just the way it's just set up and everything. It just dials up everything to
it's been going for like 10 minutes. It's just people being slaughtered.
it's just like there's so much like because I remember the first time I watched this. I mean, my mother, bless her, she's being that of Pakistani background, she doesn't really understand English, and of course,
Okay.
definitely not Chinese. And whenever I watch this movie, whenever I put Hard Boiled on, she was like, "Oh my gosh, all that happens in this movie is just bang, 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 bang. Everyone's just getting shot. There's bullets everywhere. That's all this film is. What's the story in this movie?"
There are gaps where nothing happens. No one gets shot. It's just rare.
Very few gaps, yes. But even for her, she's even said that, yeah, this movie is just full of nothing but action. People are just getting killed left, right, and center.
Which is sometimes good for these Hong Kong films because if you can't get the subtitles, you can
Which
just
is
watch
why
the
he
action.
knew what he was doing, because John Woo knows what he's doing, because he knew if he's going to do a more talky kind of movie where it's just a drama based film, it's not going to sell that well to the West. Whereas if he was to do an action heavy movie, which is full of action, he knows
Yes.
that would definitely, sell better to like the Western market.
Yeah. Because what was the film I saw a clip from? Chow Yun-fat gets a head injury and reverts back to like a child state.
That's God of Gamblers.
That's got a gamblers. Okay.
Yes. But you can still gamble, yeah. Believe it or not, that was that year when that film came out in 1989. That was actually the highest grossing film of Hong Kong, which was God of Gamblers. Very popular movie because that kind of kickstarted the whole gambling genre of films over there. Because gambling is a big thing in Hong Kong, where a lot of people love to gamble, and making movies of that. I mean, it's a good marketable move.
Yes.
But then he also made a movie where he was at the same time, he did another movie in 1989, which was called All About Our Long, which is kind of like a tearjerker type of movie, which got him the Best Actor award again for that movie, which was like, hey,
right.
you can't deny the guy. I mean, he was that talented and still is.
Yeah, because Tony here gets a lot of damage in this film. He's just been, I don't know if he's got some wounds on his back. Then later on, someone shoots him from above, and he gets a shotgun blast down his back, and then he ends up in hospital.
He gets shot by Lo Meng, a former Shaw Brothers vet, which was also along with Philip Kwok in Five Deadly Venoms, and he was also the kid with the golden arm, which is like one of the most referenced kung fu movies by the Wu-Tang Clan. I mean, one of the rappers goes by the name Golden Arms, which is YouGod. One of his nicknames, aliases, is Golden Arms. And yeah, the fact you get to see him in this movie as well, which was kind of like, wow, okay, you know, he's got like these current stars and also stars of yesteryear.
Yeah. Let's have a look. It's winding me up now what the Rothrock film was. It's one of those that's got a couple of names. No, it's not Outside the Law. Damn. Guardian Angel. I think it is. It's coming out soon.
Guardian Angel. Oh, okay.
From 94. But yeah, if I hadn't run out of bullets, I would have killed the cop.
I know, that's amazing. Yeah, bong bong, Sue.
There he is. There's Jeff. Just speaking about you,
Bunky.
Jeff. Meeting Cynthia later this month in person.
Yeah, I saw you met up with Ricky in person sometime a few months back.
Yes, I guess. Yeah, like he's got a BO problem, so yeah, don't go near him. And bad breath.
He said you got like the personality of a dead fish or something. Apparently, you're quite boring in real life.
I thought it was boring on here. Oh dear, it must be worse.
Oh
yeah, see, look, he's showing off again. If he doesn't get taken out for being too stalkery-ish.
I guess you might have an impact like that on people, I guess. But then, just imagine, I mean, someone who's well-versed in martial arts, would you really want to stalk them? Because they'll probably kick the shit out of you. They'll probably kick the crap out of you.
Well, his plan is to get a photo of her with her doing the scorpion kick, but my hope is she'll actually kick him in the face and knock him out. So that's a better story, isn't it?
Yeah, I got kicked in the head from Cynthia Rothrock. Wow.
Yeah, that's a story.
Yeah, it's a story to tell.
Well, back in John Woo's flat. But yeah, because right at the beginning, that bit where he's playing the what's it called? Whatever instrument it was, yeah. That was filmed.
The clarinet, yeah.
Yeah, the clarinet is filmed after the film finished, I think. They had to just introduce it a different way.
Because John Woo was like, that's how he wanted to kind of like do the opening sequence, but then yeah. And he finally got the idea because
see some praise.
Because Choi Hark was totally against it because he did not want that in The Killer. He said to him that the Hong Kong audience will not know anything about jazz music. He goes, it's not going to work. And but then it worked really well. And this scene here, which is where you find out that Tony's an actual cop, and he's working with Alan in the dub. He's actually working with Superintendent Pang. This reminded me a lot of a scene where he also plays an undercover cop in Infernal Affairs from 2002.
Right.
And Anthony Wong, who plays Johnny Wong, is actually playing Superintendent Wong in that film. Great movie. They have a similar kind of scene, like where he says that I can't have it. I'm doing this for too long. And he's doing it. I mean, that was the movie that inspired, which was remade as The Departed by Scorsese.
Yes.
Yeah, and then that's what when I saw that movie, I thought it reminded me of this scene here. It's like, okay, yeah, it's like kind of like a bit of a throwback to his character in Hard Boiled, because he plays an undercover cop in the Triads in this movie, and also in Hard Boiled in Infernal Affairs as well. And and apparently, I mean, when John Woo fell out with Choi Hark, one of the reasons is because what happened was he wanted to make his edits and changes to The Killer, but because they'd finished it already and it had already been released in Taiwan. And in Taiwan, The Killer was a huge success. People loved it. And apparently Choi Hark was really pissed off at that. And then apparently he like started throwing things around his office and like broke his window and whatnot. I was like, he's really kind of like bitter and like angry about the fact. And that's why he took A Better Tomorrow 3 away from John Woo, and he actually directed it, which kind of like John Woo got betrayed. and that's why he left and did Bullet in the Head independently.
Nice. I guess some good came out of it, but yeah, definitely is. Because yeah, so yes, check out Sid's channel, Cool Moviegram, as it says in the name.
Yes,
And then,
and
yeah,
I'll
if
be
you like all this,
and I'm doing a top 50 kung fu movies for this month, which I'm going to try and maybe see. It might kind of like spill out over through to March, because in that month, because it's Ramadan, so I'm going to be fasting, so I ain't going to have time to make
yeah.
any videos. So I'm going to be like, what I'll do is I'll just put together some videos. I'm just going to be releasing them sporadically through the month, just so it kind of keeps the channel going
Yeah,
a bit
that
more.
works.
April comes because that's the birth month of Jackie Chan. I'm just going to be doing loads of Jackie Chan related stuff.
Excellent.
Definitely.
But yes, read this one.
Yes,
how about
definitely. I've actually reviewed the 88 Films Blu-ray release of Fong Sayuk 1 and 2 on my channel. And yeah, one of my favorite releases of last year, because that's just one of my, they are part of my favorite Jet Li movies. Fist of Legend, again, one of my top favorite Kung Fu movies of ever. The Master was pretty good. Last Year in China was funny. Yeah, but Fist of Legend, Fong Sayuk, and Once Upon a Time in China, definitely my favorite like Jet Li movies. I would say they're his big three movies, definitely.
right? Excellent. Oh, here we go. So the cranes.
Yeah.
Bit of a story behind that, and then comes into play later.
He goes, why don't we make a paper toad for Johnny Walker? You know what? Fun fact is, a few years back, this is when my daughter was about, I think it was about a few years ago. She was still in primary school, and the homework she had was to do some origami, and I just said the line. I said, "Why don't you and I make a paper toad for Johnny Wong?" She's like, "What?" Because I'm younger. I said, "You're too young to get it, love. You're too young to get
Wait till you're 18.
it." Yep,
Oh, yeah.
he gets got shot in the back by Lo Meng, like a
Yeah,
kung
there
fu
is.
movie icon. He's like an icon and a veteran. And the funniest thing is, this guy, he's done so many movies. He's been in movies he's aged on quite a bit. This guy, I would say, has always had an amazing physique. He's just pretty much like just big, muscular, and like still kind of like everything's like, wow, this guy really took care of himself.
Yeah, not much to explode on this boat.
I know, but this is still such a great shootout, though. It's just the way that it's kind of pieced together, the editing, the
I love that
shot,
bounce into
especially
the
when
water.
Channing Fat jumps like when he shoots at Channing Fat, and you just kind of like just see that kind of something like a telephone or something exploding in slow motion. It's just such a great shot here.
Yeah, I thought there was only like 3 guys, but they've shot about 20 people, haven't they?
That's what I mean. It just looks cool. That shot there now, just boom. I just used to think that's just such a cool shot. It's like just looks so good on camera.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, and there you go. This is where Lo Meng. Usually, whenever he was in any of those Venom mob movies, whether it's starting from like the Five Deadly Venoms, he usually is like the first one to die as well out of all the characters.
Right.
But then nearly everyone in those the Venom mob movies, everyone dies in probably the most gruesome fashions.
Which Street Fighter do you prefer, Jean-Claude Van Damme's or Sonny in the 70s?
So this Sonny Chiba Street Fighter definitely is the best. That's just a classic. Terry Surugi, just an amazing character.
Damn, I watched a film called Wolfman from the 70s, but he's got wolf powers and martial artist, but I don't know if it's one of his many titles. I can't remember who was in there.
That rings a bell. I think I must have seen clips of it somewhere.
It was pretty good because it had all this sort of action. But I thought it was a werewolf, but he just has the power of a werewolf. Where is he? It doesn't help. There's about 1 million films called Werewolf or Wolfman. It's the trouble. Yeah, is it Wolfman or Wolfman?
Wolfman.
Everyone's got the name Wolfman.
I have to admit, though, they have done a great job of like creating this like hospital because
Yeah.
the fact is, this is an old Coca-Cola plant,
Yes.
which was just like 1 story high, like just 1 floor, and they kind of made it into like a set for a hospital. And the fact that they kind of like just, I think the exterior shots were done maybe at a hospital or something, or I don't know because that looks like a hospital from the outside,
Yeah,
but
it definitely
but it
certainly
was this
does.
was a kind of just like a derelict Coca-Cola plant that does not being used anymore. So they just kind of like thought, yeah, why not we just use it? And I thought that's really kind of creative because when I learned of that, I was like, wow, I thought that's actually that just shows how resourceful these Hong Kong filmmakers can be.
Yep. And then where are we? We're in the second hour, so we're over halfway.
Yeah.
So we're at the hospital now. So yes, the
When you
gangsters
could smoke
base.
when you could smoke in a hospital.
Yeah, or like oxygen, but yeah, have a cigarette anyway. You've just been shot a lot. Like my eyes are up halfway through, but yeah, smoking in a hospital seems so weird now, doesn't it?
No, because I remember this vividly as a kid. I remember waiting when this is when my grandfather was still alive. I remember seeing him in a hospital, and then I remember waiting outside because there was too many people visiting him. And says, "Oh yeah, some of you have to wait outside." I remember there's 2 gentlemen there just sitting down at the bench and just smoking in the corridor, and I'm like, you can never get that now.
No, you have to go outside now. Even if you're on
Exactly.
a drip, they all see all these people walking with a bloody drip and going outside for a smoke. You think,
It just beats the
I wonder
purpose
what.
of being in a hospital. Yeah, this is where the scene's cut, isn't it? It's like some of the
Oh
couple
yeah,
of the
I see
shots
it. Yep, because yeah, the bit where he gets his head. I think. Hang on, it's just
smack
when he gets
against
his head smacked. 'Cause
the
I don't know
railing.
how
Yeah.
they did that because that looks like a metal pole because it's part of the thing, and he does slam his head on it. You see it, so
I
I'd love to know how they
reckon
did that.
they probably must have had something just covering his head, like a little cushion
Well,
thing
yeah,
and whatnot.
this is
Probably.
5 seconds. It cuts the karate chop to the chest, a side kick to the ribcage, and the Ko's head being flung against the steel ball railing. There it is. But yeah, they might have just placed it with rubber or something. But yeah, he gets the shit kicked out of him.
They must have covered the bars with like some foam or something, and then yeah.
Yes. I didn't have eggs or hardball sweets while doing this watch party. No watch party tonight. I got some jellied sweets
Uh,
instead. Didn't Van Damme's double teamed kind of take children's hospital scenes
pretty
in this?
much. I mean, a lot of movies have taken things from Hard Boiled, and we'll get to kind of see that as well because even later on, I was going to bring it up later on in the movie where Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 had actually paid homage to this movie too.
Yeah,
I mean, you
I
got the
saw that.
scene where No Sleep from Brooklyn, which is it looks like it's done by one take, but you can tell it was pieced together because it just looks too smooth.
Yeah.
When it looks too smooth, we know it's been edited together. It's not one long continuous shot.
So now, when Tony shot him, did he shoot him in the lighter?
Yes, he shot him in the light. That's right, because you see that like he actually slips the lighter into
Yeah, he
his
slipped the
kind
lighter
of
in. I guess that was on purpose to shoot him.
breast pocket, and then
It's got a good
boom.
aim, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a John movie. They have a really good aim,
Yeah. And then
and we
he
get to
somehow
see that later. Yes, that's it. Where he's just walking into the lion's den.
used to have the UK VHS. There were definitely a couple of cuts in the beating scene. So stupid. Yeah, it's like it's an 18 certificate of a Hong Kong movie with 1,000 killings, and there's a couple of kicks and a karate chop they cut take out.
Yes.
I haven't seen the Yellow Jackets. I don't know. Did they get a second season? Because I think it's ended on a cliffhanger. Ah, yes, yeah. Wu's face off. The butterfly scene is butterfly knife is cut, even though it's an 18. Right. So here we go. The who are all these people at the hospital? Suspicious looking people.
He was like, oh, no. He's like, oh, he thinks, oh, is his friend dead? Oh, no. The
Yeah.
informant is not dead.
Register him later. I'm responsible. But yeah. Well, so yeah, certainly gets a lot of suspense now.
Yes, I mean, it's still. I'm thinking, why would you take take the informant back to the hospital that he just told you that belongs to the bad guys. Like they actually
Yeah,
run the
'cause
hospital.
before the warehouse scene, he sees a load of ambulances being loaded up with weapons, doesn't he, and stuff.
Exactly. You'd want to take him to somewhere different, but then
Maybe it's the only hospital in range. 8050 and his pupils
uh,
dilated. Uh,
yeah, the white roses. Yeah, he has to pick the white roses.
yes. Now, because he says, when I send you flowers, that's when you call evacuate the hospital. But then he slips the flower into a pocket. But he was he was assuming she would check her pocket at some point. What if she checked it like straight away or
Exactly.
something?
As soon as she checks it, she'll get it. She'll get everybody
Yeah,
out.
before they get there. But yeah. Well, and yeah, bad guy doesn't. So, oh, yeah. So here we go. The gun in the roses box. Now,
Fun
people have
fact:
said,
this was being filmed at the same time when
well,
Terminator 2 came out. So
yeah,
you
they
never
were.
know. I'm thinking John Woo must have kind of like saw that movie, thought, okay, you know what, this is actually quite good. You could actually hide the gun in a box of
It
flowers.
might just, yeah. People have said it's a coincidence because they were made at the same time. But yeah, someone just one of those things, or like you said, he saw
Yeah, it's like when
Terminator.
it's like when Jackie Chan did Project A, and he heard that Steven Spielberg has got a bicycle chase scene in E.T. So what he did was at that time he had actually gone to the cinemas to just watch E.T. for that bicycle scene, and he goes, "Oh, this is nothing like what I wanted to do, so that's fine. It's okay." uh,
I don't need any more mods. No one hassles this channel anymore. We don't get these spoiler people. We don't get the sexy URLs anymore. It's been very quiet. So plus, I don't. I have to do it on. I can't do it on the StreamYard app, which I'm using here. I have to go onto the YouTube app at the time the stream is happening. I can't be bothered. So there you
yeah.
go. Yeah, it is. I missed the comment where he opens the butterfly knife, and then suddenly in his hand, because I cut out the bit where he twirls it around to open it. But yeah, a lot of 90 stuff was just stupidly edited.
I just don't understand it why. Because I mean, to be honest, some of these cuts just seem silly, especially when you see how like I mean, there's been horror movies with a lot worse stuff left in it.
Well, yes, because the BBC hated ear claps, was it headbutts,
And nunchucks.
nunchucks, throwing stars. Uh, so even Turtles films were cut and renamed the cartoon series.
God.
Uh,
This was probably one of the most rewatched VHSs ever since when I was a kid. I think it got to a point where it was a good VHS, but then eventually just kind of like started
yeah,
losing its quality
they
over
do give up
time.
after just saying, "Leave me alone. I've been watched enough."
Yeah, get a new one or get some get a DVD.
Oh, he's got a gun. So what's he gonna do? Kick in?
He could have just stayed there and he would have stayed alive
Yeah, shoots the bed and jumps out the way.
because he's
Shoots the
about to go
tigers.
in and go that.
Yep, and then yeah, he thinks moving that curtain will hide the mess.
I know. Ah, the full screen ratio had to pan it to the left, pan it to his left.
Oh, the old pan and scan. That was a nuisance though on the VHS days.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm ahead now. Yeah. Yes, ninja films were very short. I tried to think what they did to Ninja 3 or something like that. Because that fight at the beginning, either throwing ninja stars left, right, and center.
Yeah, it's like just when you watch like those old VHSs of the Bruce Lee movies, how much there was cut out. It's just, especially Way of the Dragon, that was just really cut out really bad.
Yes. If I'd have known that everyone was going to kick off, I would have had hard boiled eggs and bloody sweets if some Werner's originals or something. Oh, yeah, what's his money back? No refunds. I think it says that in my TNCs. But yeah, this poor guy. They just patched him all together, and then Mad Dog comes in,
Yes.
just cuts his throat.
I guess the only advice he had was don't think, feel.
So if
Yeah,
Chow Yun said
feel
no
the
to
knife going across your mouth.
this, who would you cast if Chow Yun Fat said no to this back then?
Who I would say at that time, it's hard to kind of say who would be like the leading man in a John Woo movie if it weren't Chow Yun Fat, because
Yeah,
Jackie Chan's too comedic, and maybe Lau Ching Wan, who's a great actor, or is also known as Sean Lau. He was good. Even Andy Lau might have done a pretty good job, but he's quite young at that time as well. He was still quite fresh faced, and he was kind of in that phase where he was just doing a lot of gangster movies as well. But even though he's done everything in between, but he's a very versatile actor. He might have done this pretty well.
okay.
And who else? I'm thinking apart from Tony Leung, or maybe the other Tony Leung, which is there's another guy called Tony Leung Ka Fai, a great actor who was in A Better Tomorrow 3. He would probably be doing really good in this as Tequila. He's again another great actor, and
Yeah, just
yeah, I mean, there are some very talented actors in Hong Kong that probably would have pulled this off as well. But then when you think about someone on the level of Chow Yun Fat, there's not that many in terms of acting.
because I got this bit where he moves the body from where he cut the throat, and it's just like blood everywhere, and then tucks him down a hole, the chute.
The
You
elevator,
think, what was the
chute,
point? It's just
laundry
a
chute.
massive load of evidence pointed to where he is, and then these dodgy coppers cleaning up the blood.
The security guards, yeah.
No,
Oh.
Rambo's knife is not perfectly safe because Rambo 3, the knife is cut out in several scenes. When the kid has it and flings it around, and then when he's digging for a mine, they cut it out, and then later on, when it's lying on the floor, they cut out this scene of the Rambo knife. 'Cause
But I think the DVD was uncut though, wasn't it?
I think by the time if it was out after '99, it would have been uncut.
Yeah, it was uncut then, yeah.
But yeah, it's ridiculous. Soldier Blue. Yes, that's a film that's cut to ribbons on VHS, and it's a very widescreen film as well. Yeah, Commando's cut. That was a shock to me when I first saw the uncut version of that.
Same here.
Shed scene.
That whole the scene with the tool shed.
Cuts his arm off, stabs the other guy, and then because I think
Slices the
originally,
guy's head off with a circular saw. Like,
because originally I think it was scripted that he cuts the arm off the guy, but then beats him to death with it. But I think they thought that's a bit too much and just had him cut it off.
yeah, and the other cut was where he actually kills that guy on the plane. Because he elbows him and then he just cracks his neck.
Yeah, so they cut out
they cut out the cracking of the neck. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
So, please don't disturb my friend who's dead tired. That's what I mean. That I never saw those scenes until after. It's like I was like, wait, this is what happened.
Yeah. The horse strip is missing in the Blu-ray allegedly of the UK Blu-ray. Still because of the RSPCA.
Yeah, I think animal cruelty is still kind of a big thing because even when you look at Jackie Chan's Snake in the Eagle Shadow, the original rank VHS, which is probably one of the most rarest and expensive VHSs to get, it's it has the snake versus the cat fight uncut, but then the DVD and even the Blu-ray for these released in the UK has those scenes kind of like trimmed.
Yeah. Friday the 13th, they kill a real snake, and then it's still on my VHS.
Yeah.
Double standards, but I think what was the other film? Abyss. We didn't get 4K of the Abyss in the UK because they wanted to cut the rat scene.
Yeah, and then also
so they get the old morgue. Uh-oh. So is everyone in on it? Because surely everyone in the morgue is in on it.
Well, hospital staff is pretty much run by Johnny Wong.
I love that. He
I think
spins
like he's financing it, so all the guards are actually his men.
Okay. So
Because
yeah, spins the thing and then he
they
jumps
have
off.
to protecting the arsenal, where he has got his own weapons cache.
Yeah.
So of course he's got all those guys in uniform. And a lot of this scene was pretty much also, if you've ever played that game on PlayStation 2, it was called Rise to Honor with Jet Li.
Oh no.
Yeah, they actually kind of like there's one of the levels that you play in that game is in the hospital, and it kind of like it is pretty much reminiscent of like Hard Boiled. The way that it's kind of like the thing you get to kind of like how you kind of like go onto those moving beds, you just lie down and shoot someone and stuff, and like it's just done all like it's pretty much like Hard Boiled too. Great game. That was a really good game because you get to kind of like because Jet Li was officially involved in that. It was a really fun game to play.
Yeah, that's good because better the unreleased Steven Seagal game that I tried playing. It's terrible.
That just sounds like a bad idea.
Oh yes, the snake cat bit. There we go. That's surprisingly nasty.
Yeah, because you could tell the snakes had all been defanged that they were using in that scene, and also like you could see them kind of using a wire to pull the snake to try and agitate the cats and stuff.
Well,
And yeah, so that was kind of yeah. I could do without that. I'm thinking, yeah.
yeah, if it's not part of the story, because I think
It was part of the story
already-
because that's where Jackie Chan's character decides to come up with a style called cat claw.
well, we all use that in the school fights.
Yeah, cat claw.
Yeah, Way of the Dragon. I still haven't finished. I've done a whole video of the cuts to the 5, 4. Not Enter the Dragon. I don't think the 4, Way the Dragon, and the other 3, whatever I can't remember. But I still haven't put the audio on it, so I've got all these cuts.
Even Game of Death had a whole scene removed.
Yes,
yeah, the whole fight
crazy
scene.
what the VHS is missing from those films, but I need to finish that.
Yeah.
Too.
I mean, what I also loved about like in terms of like the Hong Kong movies, especially John Woo, I mean, like in this scene over here, it's just the use of color and lighting. It's just like really cool. Even on VHS, it looked really good, and then even a Blu-ray, DVD, whatever, it just still holds up. You just think it's actually really well made film. It's just that
the VHS isn't picking up, but it's very blue, but it's
not
on the DVD.
Yeah, it does have kind of a blue kind of like tint to it, but yeah, that was it. That's what it was. Pretty much, people used to have this. It's kind of been known in like pretty much around fans as the Hong Kong blue because it's kind of like very similar to what Michael Mann uses in a lot of his scenes. Like he uses that blue tint. It's like
yeah, not the teal one they put on the 4Ks these days.
Not the teal, no, the actual blue. Like, yeah, Michael Mann's blue is different. Yeah.
Shame they didn't cut the bit where they put a cardboard cut of Bruce Lee's face over his double.
Oh my god, that was terrible. You know what? Fun fact is, a couple of years, was it last year or the year before? Yeah, it was 2023 because the 50th anniversary of Bruce Lee's passing when they did the 4K release of the Bruce Lee movies by Arrow, and I got to watch those movies on the big screen and the 4K restorations. First one we watched was Game of Death. When you see that whole cardboard cutout bit of Bruce's face, everyone in the theater just laughed. It was just like everyone just let out the biggest laugh ever. It's like that was just really bad. And the thing is, that's one movie where HD technology has not worked in favor of because the scenes where you couldn't see the person's face that playing Bruce, you actually see it's not Bruce. It's like it's just weird.
Yes, but if you're on like an old grainy 70s New York backdoor cinema, you wouldn't notice the difference. The scratches and everything on the film.
Yeah, they kind of make it look a bit off, but the fact is, it's just too obvious.
See, I'm trying to think when I first saw it. I was very late to this game. I think mine must have been DVDs, maybe even the early 2000s before I saw this.
Mine was about 96 or 97 when they aired it on Bravo. Was the first ever time I saw this film, and then ended up kind of finding the VHS in one of the local video shops, and I was like, I need to get this. I need to get this. And back then, they didn't care if it was someone who was under 18. I mean, especially if it's a shop that's owned by an Asian man, like, Asian like video shops. They didn't care if you were 18 or not. They will give you, they'll go, "Hey, we'll let you rent."
Profiling.
As long as it's not something like a dirty movie, they won't let you rent a dirty movie or something a bit too extremely graphic, like a horror movie, like a really gruesome horror movie. They'd be a bit more kind of reserved. But when it comes to action movies and martial arts movies, they'd be like, yeah, you can you can borrow this. It's fine.
A horror film where only 3 or 5 people get killed, compared to this one where 320 people get killed.
Exactly. Action movie. Yeah, it's fake. Action's fine. It's not horror. You ain't gonna get scared.
Oh, here's the famous
Boom.
shooting scene. Oh, nope, not ready. Hell of a shot. There's a massive plan just to open this door.
Yeah.
Boom. Zzz.
God.
Yeah, let's not spoil the movie, man. That's why I watch my movies on Gareth's portable TV in the frame within a frame video on YouTube. I can't see the wires on mirrors. Exactly. You're not spoiling the special effects behind me there.
You don't even get to see much mirrors in this movie, but it's just the wires. That's just something that's unavoidable. It's like back then it was the wires were too visible at times. Whereas
Yes.
now they can digitally just remove them just using computers, which is why with all the flying around in movies like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and Hero, and all them,
Oh,
you don't
yes.
see the wires because they've got the technology now. So
Yeah. They've been doing it since Batman Returns, I think was one of the first.
well, wire work has been in place since like the 50s and 60s in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Well, the swordplay movies where like everyone can fly and have magical powers, but yeah, they've been using wires since then. I mean, sometimes they're noticeable, but a lot of the times they usually aren't. They
Yes, I
don't
guess
really stick out. But then
they
of
get
course,
thinner and stronger as the technology went on.
definitely. But then, of course, when you had people like Jackie Chan come along the scenes, and then Bruce Lee and then Jackie Chan, their kind of martial arts action was done. Very, very few wires were used. It was only just to enhance the scene in certain kind of like action sequences, like certain shots. But no flying around and like jumping in the air and doing like all these multiple kicks and stuff that you'd see in a lot of these '90s kind of like wire fu movies, as they call them.
Yes, the Wireful ones, yes. So then we get the one bullet gun, which seems quite useless because he seems to be. Is he missing on purpose? Because they aren't that far away.
Ah,
But then that gun does turn up in another John Woo film with Lance
yes, it was. It's
Henriksen
hard
using
target,
it.
wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, I thought so.
yeah. They got all these guns everywhere, machine guns, and they still stick to their handguns for the whole thing.
Because they're the bad guys' guns. They ain't gonna use that.
Yeah, I'd hate to give an X-ray of Jackie Chan these days.
Well, he's still going strong for someone that's 71 years old, and
He is.
well, almost 71. And yeah, he's got like a movie coming out this year as well, another one which is Karate Kid Legends.
Of course, yes.
Yeah, which is
Somehow
going to be
they're
after
merging
Cobra
the
Kai.
two.
That's going to be after Cobra Kai. So Cobra Kai is going to be coming out next week, the final part of like the last season on Netflix, and then yeah, so then that's when the Karate Kid Legends is going to be taking place just after that kind of storyline. So
Yeah.
it'd be
Okay.
interesting
Yeah,
to see where it goes.
yeah. I remember when Karate Kid, the TV series, was on like the new YouTube streaming service. Yes, didn't last long because they got the one successful thing they had. They sold off.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. The Mad Dog again, even without guns, he's still a badass.
Yes, you don't mess with him. Guns, guns, guns. But so
Right. Or my favorite Clarence Boddicker quote: "Bitches, leave."
it's a good one. So yes, John Woo wanted Rolling Stones. Hey, you get off my cloud for this scene.
Right.
How much you got? Just a bit of a
Yeah, he's quite a big fan of like 60s rock and roll, like
probably yeah,
Beatles
couldn't
and
afford it,
everything. Yeah.
which would be cost more than the budget of this film. Oh,
Or maybe because Martin Scorsese had already earmarked it because if anything Rolling Stones related, usually in his movies
yeah,
anyway.
he gets the cheap probably. Which would have one shotgun or the flying CD weapons from I Come in Peace, or the Dark Angel as we know it. I don't know. I don't trust that flying CD weapon. So yeah, I'm gonna have the one shotgun. You can't control that very well. Oh, the runaway. Yeah, with the heat-seeking bullet from the runaway.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Or ladies leave in the ITV version. I have to find that clip.
Uh,
Right, here we go. So yeah, everything just explodes in this film.
it does, yes. Everything's just like kind of like heaven's overlooked.
He shoots like a cardboard box and sparks fly off it and it explodes. Oh, now he's freezing them inside. And Mad Dog. Oh, so the bad guy. Oh, he knows where the secret panel is.
Wow. Yeah, this is where kind of like things start going down, and then
Yeah, this is the last half hour where it really kicks off. Yeah, left them in the room with all the Semtex and C4, and how are they going to get out? There is no room for failure now.
no, and then this scene here is like I think he says, "Oh, I will do this," but in the subtitles he says, "I will castrate you if you try and stop me."
Yeah.
I will castrate you."
I did think it was a bit harsh. Castrate the poor bastard. There it is. I'll castrate you. There you go. And then rescue the babies. Won't someone think of the children?
Yeah, because I think Tropic Thunder even paid a nod to this movie's poster.
Yes.
The part where it's Scorcher when he's holding the two babies, and yeah,
Because the bit with the
Tug
baby peeing.
Speedman.
John Woo says he put it in the film because babies are always peeing on him when he holds babies. So why not make it put out a fire? Not sure how much, because his legs are very much on fire. When there's another scene that reminds me of Terminator 2 in this, where the bad guys are up at the top and then they're shooting down.
Shooting
all the
down
cop
people,
cars.
yeah. Very
Blowing
kind
the
of like,
people
yeah.
down, yeah. You think, who saw whose film first? Yeah, so there you go. Why are they massacring all the hospital people?
Because they're bad guys, so of course they
Oh, yeah,
show
there you
how
go.
evil these people can be.
People in wheelchairs and everything.
Yeah.
All Ooh, people falling downstairs, and then he shoots the top wall. So this one's all right. And then halfway through an
Yeah,
operation,
boom, headshot. No, not this one. No, the other headshot's the other one. Yeah, so sorry.
oh no, fuck this guy. He's getting the RoboCop
Yeah,
treatment.
it does remind you of Terminator 2, especially when they're just shooting up all the cars and everything. And
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, you got that steely kind of like Hong Kong blue.
Oh yes.
I mean, The outside. The one thing is the outside scenes in this movie. What it reminds me a lot, especially when you shot it like with the explosions going off, it just gives me kind of like just kind of reminds me a lot of like Escape from New York.
Ah,
Yeah, it just reminds a lot of like what's going on in that kind of the way that movie the setting is, and like it just reminds me of like yeah, that's where it looks like hard boiled. But then again, John Carpenter did good make that movie a while back, so
yeah.
yeah.
They've got guns, and so have we. They've only got 38s. Ha. But yeah, the good old SWAT team turn up.
Or as is known in for the Hong Kong police, they're known as the SDU, the Special Defense Unit. I think they're called the
Aha,
SDU.
makes sense. Just police just carrying bodies, but they're carrying them like 5 feet, so they could still be shot at.
Hmm.
Well, here we go. Doesn't know the cops are here.
This is one of the first times I think ever in a John Woo movie, especially from the 90s, where a woman character is actually not just an empty vessel.
No, I did think that she does a lot in
She's
this.
kind of like a bit more of a stronger kind of like female character in this movie, and I'm thinking that's probably must have been her input as well, saying that I won't just play just like a damsel in distress or someone to just kind of like look pretty in the background. I
Yeah,
want
she
to have a
rescues all the
character in
babies and
substance,
then shoots
you
one of
know,
the punks. That
and
calls her
then
a bitch.
exactly, and the fact that she's kind of like a stronger, what you would normally see as a strong kind of confident character, which is not just kind of typically two-dimensional or just
No,
there for like in the background. There's just
yeah.
like a simple love interest. Which is, but even though I mean that is you because John Woo's movies, although they kind of like the West has always kind of like treated like his kind of like male character, the bond that they have is kind of like some sort of erotic subtext. But it's because if you see a lot of like these old movies based on like sword plays about swordsmen,
Yeah,
it's like they always have this kind of brotherhood kind of thing going where that's where he kind of drew that kind of inspiration from. It's from
right.
those old movies and books where the characters were like, two warriors if they meet and they kind of like respect one another, or they might have a bond where they're willing to do anything for that other person, and they admire them just for their kind of skill or their bravery.
Yeah, certainly is. What's John Woo's worst film?
Worst movie? Ooh, I'd say Paycheck probably top that list. I would say that would probably that or Windtalkers because
Yeah, because
Windtalkers was
there you go.
yeah
Nice and
Paycheck.
shiny. So his American ones then.
Yeah, Paycheck was definitely just like that was really bad.
I
So
yeah, I
was
can't see any point in John Woo being involved in that because it doesn't really have. It's a Philip K. Dick science fiction story, and then yeah,
it just didn't really stick with me. I thought nah, and it's just nah. Uh, and I think Windtalkers was probably pretty bad as well because from what he wanted to do compared to like what he was able, how
yeah,
he got robbed and like he got his control taken away from him. I thought it would have been a great movie, but
yeah. It would have been a Saving Private Ryan type film, but then they turned it into a World War II action film.
and then which I think was the biggest kind of rip off because he should have literally been given the full control after having like a string of hits, like up until Mission Impossible 2, which is such a big hit. They should have said, okay, you know what, we can trust this guy to make a good movie. He can get full control. He's proved himself.
Yeah, Michael Myers is not a fan of Mission Impossible 2 or Blackjack. Yeah,
Blackjack
both
wasn't
sides.
all that. It was a TV movie, so I just
It
kind of like
was low budget, wasn't it? Well,
it was
even
low
for
budget for
it's probably
John Woo.
about the same budget as this, but still for American it was low budget. But there was yeah, it didn't really. That's why it didn't become a series. Blazing Magnum. I don't know that one.
Hmm.
Sounds cool. And with a Magnum in the title. But yes, we've still got 20 minutes. John Woo still might turn up, so we did invite him. You invited him, right, Sid?
Yes, we did. If he ever watches this, John, we would have loved to have had you here. But then apparently, I think it's his daughter Annie who actually
Yeah.
manages his social media account. So
Pass it on then, Annie. But yeah, so I'm not having much luck this week. Vanilla Rice hasn't looked at my message, and neither has Paige Tuco, Elias Cotes.
what are you looking to do? Like a Cool as Ice?
Yes, we invited Vanilla Ice for Cool as Ice watch party.
Drop that zero and get with the
See,
hero.
everyone knows the film.
God, that was such a terrible movie.
Put him off.
So bad though. It's so bad.
But yeah, apparently it says John Woo can't. They don't allow messages from everyone, but then yeah, see some of my other stuff. I tagged him in.
I mean, he liked one of my posts, so I thought, hey.
Well, exactly. He has liked stuff in the past. I tagged him in, but I think maybe he's a bit more. Maybe Instagram's a bit more restrictive though. But yes.
This is the bit that was pretty much used in that same video game, Rise to Honor. Yeah. With Jet Li.
Oh, headshot only. Yeah. Jumping on beds, shooting people, rolling out of the way. It looks a lot cooler when they do this rolling on the floor and jumping around everywhere on a Hong Kong film rather than an American film. It just looks stupid sometimes when they roll around for no reason. It's like in Die Hard 2 when he comes through the air vent and drops down and then starts rolling on the floor shooting. You think they're just going to take you out. Oh, that's it. Yeah, he's afraid of the color white. I knew there was something about it, but everything in this, most of this room has got white things in it. Sort of reverse racism.
This Italian Canadian production.
Oh, it's the best car chase nobody has ever seen, and the best non-PC where the hero has a fight with a group of men wearing makeup. Does it have a different name? Because I couldn't find it. Shadows in an Empty Room, I can see. Is it? But this is an Italian film. Maybe that's it. Oh yeah, here we go. Boom! Everyone move.
I love those particular pan shots just going around, and when the action happens, just one of the things I love about John Woo, and then just kind of the way it's edited with the slow mo shots, and just
people always complain about his slow mo, but it's not a problem in this film. And like Mission Impossible 2, it's a bit dodgy because it's a lot of it. Yeah. Boom! Shotgun. Help the patients. Come on. Oh, now such rapid firing guns in this.
Definitely. It's just like you just see like the amount of glass and broken and everything. It's just
yes, it's just because we get the have we missed the 2-minute one-shot scene with the elevator?
Yeah.
Because they go into shoot everyone, go into the elevator. The crew have got 30 seconds to tidy up and make it look like a different
floor. No, it's
and just they come out and do it again. I think they had it. Was it one take they had? Otherwise, they couldn't afford to do it again. I'm not sure cotton wool in babies' ears would stop them hearing gunshots, though.
Exactly, that wouldn't help. Not in real life.
It would, it's headshots only. Oh, here comes the SWAT team. Except, how do they know who's who? Oh, someone pops out of the elevator roof, shoots him. look at this. Shows. Right. Yes, I guess. What did happen to Chow after Replacement Killers and The Corruptor?
He did the Anna and the King and did a couple of other movies in Hollywood, which didn't really take off that well. And then he did actually go back, and he has made quite a lot of films in China,
Yeah.
mainland China in particular. And he has done a couple of Hong Kong movies since. He's had like kind of going back to the whole God of Gamblers thing, in movies called From Vegas to Macau, which is like these action comedies
Oh.
based centered around gambling. He has actually been doing pretty well.
Because is it Jet Li that's not very well?
Jet Li isn't. He's doing more kind of like just trying to do more humanitarian work now. He's
Yeah.
kind of like trying to focus more on like inner peace and everything like that. And then it's that's what he's doing. But in China, in fact, he's still pretty much active, and
Okay.
he's actually known as a really kind of like down to earth guy as well in Hong Kong, where he actually, if you'd probably see him on the like on the subway, on the trains and whatnot, and public transport. And he's always been like that. He's actually known locally as being very kind of like just a very level-headed person. This is the one take shot, which was also kind of like paid homage to in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, with No Sleep Till Brooklyn playing from the Beastie Boys. Yeah, because James Gunn is a huge Hong Kong cinema fan as well. And he has actually kind of like expressed it before that he does love Hong Kong action movies.
Cool. Yes, Bulletproof Monk. I tried watching that again
That was
last
horrible.
year.
That was just bad.
That was bad,
wrong. That was a wrong movie.
Oh, here's the elevator scene. I think.
Yeah,
I can't tell.
just when Tony Leung's character kills an actual police officer by mistake.
Yeah. It's hard to wish. You're dressed as a bad guy. It's not going to kick off.
Exactly.
Oh, hey, well, hello there. Yes, poached over easy or sun inside up. Yeah.
Over easy, sun side up, etc. That would be a good title.
I Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Yeah, I was very big at the time, even in the US.
Yeah, that did really well at the box office as well, because I remember it being kind of shown in cinemas for such a long time.
Yeah, I saw that and Hero in the cinema.
Yeah, I saw Hero, and I think I saw House of Flying Daggers at the same time as Hero.
Yes. That's the one. Yeah, it starts off all green and the big bamboo, doesn't it? And then all these wonderful colours. And oh, there's the cop. He'll be all right. Everyone forgets it is bad.
But then he has, the movies that he's made when he went back to Hong Kong. Some of them have just been like really good as well.
Yeah.
He did Curse the Golden Flower. He did, which was like a kind of like a Chinese movie from the director of Hero and House Flying Daggers. And he's done like the movie based on Confucius. That was quite big. And he's done quite a few. Like,
how old is he now?
Yeah.
Is he in his 60s?
He's about a year younger than Jackie Chan. So
bloody hell!
He's gonna be 70.
He goes 69 dudes. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, because he's turning 70 this year. So it's like, yeah. That used to always make me laugh. That shot there, where the guy just rolled up there just to be just shot out the window. Like, yeah.
Yeah. He's just people are just going everywhere. How are there so many bad guys here? Where are they coming from? Because there's one leaning out the window shooting the police, and then every time a policeman tries to carry a baby, they just shoot him. And there's all these others they just pop up.
I think it's this is the scene where you get to see Mad Dog with his M16 just blasting away like cops and stuff. You got that Scarface gun, the Scarface gun, the M16.
It's massive bastard. Holds about 3 bullets by the look of the clip. Oh, here they go, the SWAT team again. Go save the babies! Someone leans out, shoots machine guns at them. They drop down. They must have a lot of SWAT team as well.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
SD.
Chow Yun Fat
was
jumping through a window, shooting Mad Dog, and then Mad Dog jumps through another window to avoid it.
Yeah, one of the during one of the actual action sequences with that Tony Lung, I think it's the scene when him and which was also used in Hard Target, where they're both shooting at each other through the glass window and they're
Oh
walking
yeah,
across.
and it's still
Yeah,
missing.
apparently, I think it was in that scene where Tony Lung had actually got glass in his eye.
Yes, I did read that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to go
He
to
actually talked about it on an interview with I think it was with GQ magazine or something, where they're talking about his 5 like best movies or something. He's talking about his roles, and he kind of just went through that, and then he kind of explained that
yeah.
he got injured.
And then they just put a piece of glass as a bit of damage on his makeup later on.
Definitely.
Oh, here we go, machine guns. Yeah, HD version. You can see the wire pulling him back through the door.
You can't. No, I don't think you can. I looked at that.
The SWAT guy saw a bit of wire then. Because I'm so close up to the TV screen.
There was never
Shit.
I'll probably notice it now when I watch it on Blu-ray. I'm like, damn you, Gareth.
Yes. Let me just read out all. I'm going to read out all the goofs out now. But yeah, look at this. Do you know who this person is?
Yeah, this is where she gets her moment as well, isn't it?
You bitch.
Yeah, you bitch.
Fuck you, asshole. But yes, Ricky's in the house.
Yes.
Good evening, someone on Sydney.
Yes, well,
it is cold. Yeah, she empties the clip into this bastard.
Yeah, I'm in my house and it's nice and warm.
Yes. But I always wondered about Sammo Hung because he is acrobatic and a bit round.
Yeah, but most recently, Sammo Hung is actually. There's been videos of him. He's actually in like kind of like a wheelchair and whatnot. It's like he's in his 70s, and
you can't believe
he had a great movie last year as well. That Twilight of the Warriors, Walled In. He played like the villain in that movie, one of the bad guys in that movie, and he was really. He did a couple of. He had like 1 or 2 fight scenes in that film, and
he was never as fat as Ricky. But no, yeah, it's like a computer game. It literally is. No wonder they made the sequel into a computer game.
Definitely.
Yeah, he bounces off a wall and lands on the floor and starts shooting someone. Yeah, here's the window scene. Bum, 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 bum.
Yeah.
Don't know. Go away. Ringo Lam made some decent classics, but didn't break Hollywood.
Yeah, he did a few movies with Van Damme.
Yeah.
Up until part of Wake of Death, which he kind of like fell out. There was a movie called The Monk, which was in kind of like development with Van Damme, but that just didn't really kind of like take up. But yeah, Ringo Lam, definitely one of the most amazing filmmakers when it comes to action and just hard-hitting drama movies. I mean, you got City on Fire, which was pretty much the inspiration for Reservoir Dogs. He did Full Contact, which is really good with Chow Yun Fat. Prison on Fire 1 and 2 with Chow Yun Fat are amazing films. And hopefully they're all going to get Blu-ray releases. I know because Frank Jeng was telling me he had mentioned that he had actually done a interview with someone for the release of City on Fire, which is going to get released by Shout as well, under the whole Golden Princess kind of like catalog acquisition.
Oh, cool.
So hopefully we'll get like Prison on Fire 1 and 2, which I would say, his most successful films with Chow Yun Fat, and definitely like really savage movies. Just brutal, kind of like gritty. His action was always a lot more. It looked a lot more painful than anybody else's. It just looks like he's putting his actors through hell.
Did he do Knockoff with Van Damme? Is that what I'm thinking of?
No, that was Troy Hawk. That was he did Maximum Risk, Replicant,
Replicant,
and those were, and then Wake of Death was supposed to have been Ringo Lam's movie, but he kind of walked out of that film. I think he just kind of went away because he had fallen out with Van Damme.
Yeah.
Hey, Dutch. Oh yes,
Ringo
this is
Lam.
him saving the.
Yep.
Oh, Full Alert was really good as well. Yeah, very underrated. Very underrated. And there's another movie of his with Andy Lau called The Adventurers, which is getting a Blu-ray release in the UK by Eureka recently. It's going to come out in a couple of months. Very underrated, but such a great action movie.
Okay.
I
Cool.
just love the fact that how the bullets just light up fire into the actual curtain as well. It's just like,
Yeah.
wow.
And then lights the curtain, then he kicks the flaming curtain on the guy.
I know. But
Then we
this
get
is
the.
what I mean. This scene here is pretty much like almost like kind of like a Japanese samurai movie where, yeah, even though one's a good guy, one's a bad guy, but there's innocent
Yes.
people. And they're like, listen, they're not part of the fight. Let them get out. We're going to kill, finish the fight ourselves.
Doesn't help them though. Burning Paradise. That one doesn't ring a bell.
Yeah, that was kind of like a darker retelling of the like well, when the burning of the Shaolin Temple and how monks were being persecuted at that time. It's like a darker retelling, which was in I think it was '94 is when it came out. I've got the Blu-ray for that movie too. Absolutely, like a brutal movie because the when the movie was out in on VHS, they had a lot of bits cut out and like a lot of the more violent scenes, but then the Blu-ray's fully uncut. It's like it's got all the gruesomeness in it. It's almost like a horror movie.
Oh right. Yeah, there you go. Maximum Risk, Replicant, and In Hell. Not some of the
Yeah,
good ones then.
I actually liked Maximum Risk. I thought that was a pretty good movie.
Yeah, Replicant I never got on with because of the good guy, bad guy.
Replicant I've only seen once, and I'm kind of like, it's
Yeah.
not bad. I can't remember much. In Hell was good. I liked that one as well. That one was actually
That's the
pretty
prison
good.
movie, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, yeah. Oh, and Mad Dog's down. Went against his boss. Ran out of bullets. The one time anyone actually runs out of bullets in this film is when they shoot the bad guy.
Definitely. Yeah. Well, actually, the second time, because Chow Yun-fat runs out of bullets when he's about to
Yes.
shoot Tony. Yeah.
Yes, at the beginning. Apart
Oh,
from that, he's got infinite bullets. Yeah. I can't remember if I've seen a. Are they using CGI blood and stuff now in Hong Kong films? Or
I would think so. Yeah, probably are because there's not that many. There's not been any like gunplay movies on this level.
no.
They haven't. But whenever they do, they tend to use. Sometimes they use blood squibs, or sometimes they use CGI blood. But there hasn't been that many because if anything, it's like they've kind of reverted back to doing martial arts movies again for some reason as well. There hasn't been any John Woo level type of action movies come out. But I mean, they're going the right way. They're kind of bringing back a lot of the old school type of action because of how popular it's become again. Which is why you've had a film like Twilight of the Warriors come out last year, which I would say is my favorite action movie of 2024, which was absolutely amazing.
Nice.
And I recommend. I mean, I think I've talked about it so much on my channel. It's just a great.
I should write these down. Hang on. What's it called? Twilight
of the Warriors, Walled In.
Is there many films, or is that?
It's based on like a comic. It's the first movie so far, but there are two more that have been announced.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's based on like a comic book strip called City of Darkness. It's such a good movie, though. I mean, I think the review of that film that I did was one of my most successful like videos that I put out.
Oh, here we go. Here's the fire scene where they had to film it twice, didn't they? I think John Woo was in control. John Woo was in charge of the fire bombs.
And even Guardians of the Galaxy also kind of like paid homage to this scene as well, where part 3, where Chris Pratt's Star-Lord runs out of the exploding ship, and he grabs onto the pipe, and runs out.
I'm sure he was a lot safer than Chow Yun-fat was.
Oh yeah, that was all done screen.
It's nice to see real fire in this, as close as Chow Yun-fat.
Chow Yun-fat's doing this for real, and he's just yeah.
Wild Search, which is a sort of remake of Peter Weir's Witness.
Yeah, but it actually was a really good kind of like, that was a very human story though. is
Ah.
more about like two imperfect people who meet under these sad circumstances, but then they kind of like develop this kind of like love and friendship, love between them. And then I thought, it's actually really well made. One of the more kind of like really touching movies that he's done,
Okay.
like for Ringo Lam, and then of course Chai in Fat being a great.
Right. Wake of Death. I can never remember which happens in all. There's so many direct-to-video ones. I can never keep up with what's happening. Which one's Wake of Death? Is that? Oh, it's not Pound
It's
of
the
Flesh.
one about
Pound of Flesh.
the people smugglers. It's got Simon Yam as the bad guy, and
Right.
when his wife gets killed, and he kind of like goes on like a revenge mode.
Goes full Bronson. Replicant feels like it should be good, but somehow it isn't. Yeah, it's like two Van Dams, and one of them's a good guy, one's a bad guy. But the clone one just does nothing for the most of the film, does he?
Definitely, yeah.
In Hell is good, but a bit depressing. Replicant I don't like. Love Maximum Risk, except it. What's it? Natasha Henstridge isn't as nude as she should be in it.
Oh, yeah, everyone remembers that.
Oh, I own the movies mentioned, including Prison on Fire 1 and 2 on DVD and Blu-ray. Or Blu-ray. I think Ringo Lam is dope, but Wu is even doper.
I would say they were just equally good, but in different ways, because
Yeah.
Ringo Lam was more centered around just kind of like just the grittiness of it. Like his actions seemed a bit more kind of like in reality, because even his shootouts, if you watch movies like City on Fire, the shootout like towards the end, it just looks a lot more real.
Right.
Like it's actually happening, like something that was just like almost like you're watching a documentary news footage when something's happening, because it just looks that real. Whereas Wu is more stylized. It doesn't look real because we know it's a movie.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's just like very stylish. Whereas Ringo Lam, his action just seemed a bit more, especially when if it's got car stunts involved, it just looked really kind of like dangerous.
Oh, yes. So, what was it called? Twilight of the...
Twilight of the Warriors,
Yeah, came out in, was it
2024. Yeah.
2024? Yeah, it's on Blu-ray only. I don't know if it's... So, yeah,
I've got the 4K and Blu-ray. I think it was the exclusive on Zavi. Yeah, that's the version I got. Yeah.
Okay. Maximum Risk, right? Also has John Hughes Anglais, the psycho bankroller from Killing Zoe, playing a good guy. I still haven't seen Killing Zoe. I had it on VHS upstairs, but
I watched that maybe once years ago, but I can't.
yeah, it was one of those because it's Roger Avery who's the writer for.
And it was produced by
Producer,
Tarantino. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, you can see his John Lung's, Tony Lung's glass in his cheek. Blackwater is the first Van Damme and Dolph Lundgren fight on the good side together. Well, I guess
I've never seen that one because I think I kind of like lost interest in a lot of like the when Van Damme went through that phase. I was just doing nothing but straight to video movies. I just kind of like lost interest.
yeah, I saw The Gardener last week, which is his latest film. But of course, he doesn't. Being 60 something, he doesn't have the moves or the energy to do much.
I think the last one of his I saw was The Last Mercenary on Netflix, the French
Yeah,
movie.
that's the one. Yeah, this is a French movie too, and it's sort of spoiled by the dubbing and the French humor and all this.
I thought The Last Mercenary was funny. It was actually quite a funny movie. It was fun.
I thought it was supposed to be serious, but there's a full contact. There's a sort of bullet time effect. It's totally
It does,
unstylized.
yeah. Like the bullet cam. Yeah. And, oh yeah, you got shot in the eye and then bang. That's it.
So yeah, he pulls the gun off him, shoots himself through the side, leaves him wide open. Chow Yun-fat's ready, and then yeah, game over, man. Oh yeah, we see a puppet get shot in the eye. But yeah, now what would you think? Which ending do you prefer? This happy ending or the original sad ending where the Tony Long character supposed to have died?
I don't know, because you kind of feel sorry. It would have probably would have worked as just a sad ending, like where he dies. But the fact that he's actually stays alive, but he's kind of like decided to quit because he's undercover. I kind of like it's just like, hey, you know what? You wanted that character to make it though. That's the thing though.
Yes.
Because it's not all the time where everyone needs to die, because it's like watching a lot of those old school kung fu movies where, especially from the Shaw Brothers era, where everyone just dies at the end. I mean, the good guys are just like literally they're impaled or they're bleeding or their guts are spilling out, but they still kill somebody and die in the most like awesome like slow mo death that you can think of. But then it's nice to see that. Hey, you know what? Good guys do make it out. You kind of like think, yeah, you don't, But that's the thing though. Hong Kong's always had very bleak endings. Like their movies, they're not like they don't always have like a happy ending.
Yeah.
I
Unfortunately, so
mean,
yeah.
especially the action. I mean, everyone, something horrible has to happen to the people involved.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So, fun fact is, even with I think it was the movie that Cynthia Rothrock did, Right and Wrongs,
oh
Above
yes.
the Law. The original ending, both of the characters die. Cynthia dies, and so does Yin Bu in the original Hong Kong version. But apparently, the audience hated it so much, so they had to reshoot the ending where they both live.
Huzzah.
But I think the original ending where they both die kind of is fitting. It's like it's just dark.
It's
It's quite
well,
like
yes, I
yeah,
guess they can't always win, can they?
exactly. And then yeah, because that's how much she was loved in Hong Kong as well. Because they didn't. Nobody wanted to see her die.
Yeah. So yeah, Van Damme moves on. Because he's just done Kill 'Em All 2 last year, which I tried watching Kill 'Em All 1 and I couldn't get halfway through it. I was for the second watch. So I don't think I'm going to be watching the rest of the second one. Darkness as Man was okay, which was also last year. But that had Cynthia Rothrock in it, except she has one scene. She's a nurse in a hospital where Van Damme's taking someone, and they're not in the same. You can see they're not in the same set or anything. It's just they
Oh,
filmed it separately and just stuck it together. She's talking to him's character, but then you can see it's just nothing.
in a different setting. Oh,
They were like never on set together or never in the same country or something like that. But it's a shame. But there
wow,
you go.
man, this was fun.
Yes, flew 2.5 hours, 7 minutes just flew by because it's a
Wow.
cracking film.
Oh, it's just such a fast-paced movie.
It
And when I
is.
watch it, I'm thinking, is this really longer than like over 2 hours long? I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's got three massive set pieces, and the last one goes on like half an hour.
But it's just so well made. It's just so kind of like well paced. It's not even just about the fact that it's got great action choreography, but it's just the way that it's pieced together. It's just got a really good flow. Which one thing I've always noticed about Wu's films is that they always have a really good flow in terms of like the pace. The pace just moves along. There's never. I don't think I've ever watched a John Woo movie where I've actually kind of been like watching the time or
Yeah,
thinking, well, what's happening? Why are you taking so long to kind of like to progress? But his movies just move at a really fast pace.
yeah. Because although, like we said at the beginning, it wasn't a hit because people were getting a bit tired of his action films. It said, but once the
No,
British audience saw
it
it,
wasn't a hit in Hong Kong, but it did kind of like it was popular throughout other Asian markets. But then because it got like it was sold to a lot of distributors, critics loved it and whatnot. It kind of like it has become a hit because same thing has happened with other Hong Kong and some other Hong Kong movies which weren't really a success in their home country, but then when it comes to the Western market, they kind of like made their profit back off them as well.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
this happened with some of Jackie Chan's movies, especially they weren't really that well received in Hong Kong, but then all of a sudden it's like other markets, in particular Japan, where his movies
okay,
are like really, really very popular. He's got like a huge fan base. And I think it was one where I think a woman killed herself. I think because
yes,
she heard that Jackie was married, and then yeah,
yeah. He didn't want that on his conscience, did he? So he stopped. Was he stopped dating women or making it public? he was dating or marrying or anything, whatever he did,
Exactly.
because he felt bad for it.
He kept his private life just private. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's kind of like that's something that you just don't want to be responsible for. It's like it's just someone else's,
Well, yes, I feel the same with all the women chasing me on this channel. So I got to be careful. So that's why I'm not wearing a wedding ring, just in case.
I always do, man. I always do. I don't care. I don't care. Man,
Oh no, we're gonna see a drop in views now because all the ladies are gonna go away. I don't think.
I'm thinking.
That is the trouble with US remakes. They could never match it. No,
Well, her US movies weren't really as good because they never had the same level of action. It's like the Hong Kong movies, like they just knew how to use her abilities to look good on camera, like in terms of like the fight choreography and everything. It's just you can't match that level because those guys really put their life and soul into movies because that's pretty much that's their skill, and you just don't have that because they don't have that time or that dedication towards it the way that Hong Kong movies do. Because even when she spoke about shooting that movie with Sammo Hung, I think it was Millionaire's Express, they were shooting it from the day all the way through to the night and whatnot. They were like just constant filming, running on like very little sleep.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, there's too many rules and health and safety things in America and Britain that they could never match the stuff they were
You
doing.
wouldn't do that. You couldn't do it. Oh, no.
Valuing human life or something stupid like that.
You know what? We definitely need to kind of like do another one of these films again, man, because this is always have a good time. Whenever I'm actually doing a stream with you, definitely need to.
There you go. See.
Yeah, you
Someone
know what?
appreciates
I'm gonna
me.
have to find something, and then I'll let you know.
I got Black Belt Jones 2 upstairs on VHS.
Oh, God.
I will see what I've got. I can always buy it. That's not a problem.
In, like forever. I can't remember the last time I ever watched it.
It probably isn't even available on DVD, is it?
Or maybe just a really bad DVD.
Well, yeah, one of those 4 packs on one disc or something that you get with martial arts films. It says
Or
on it.
like something ripped off a VHS. This is just
Rip the VHS, put it on DVD, sell that, done.
Yeah.
But I've never seen it because I guess I can't find a proper copy. But oh yes, The Protector with Jackie Chan. I think we spoke about that on the project, Operation Condor stream, didn't he? Because
we did. Yeah,
Cannibal Run, and then
he had to
Protector.
He had to reshoot some of the scenes just for the Hong Kong market and add like a different subplot. And he reshot the fight with Bill Wallace.
Yeah, crazy stuff.
But then that fight was actually a lot better when Jackie Lee done it his way.
It was, yeah. That version is the best of one. And you got Dan Aiello as his bloody partner or whatever it is. Crazy.
That was just him being miscast in that movie.
Yeah, because the ladies are just queuing up for a glimpse of this fine entertainment hub. They are. They love a bit of hard boiled. I'm sure they do.
Yeah, so manly guys.
I don't know. Maybe I have to do a ladies' month. Get some ladies' views.
I don't
to the lady audience.
I don't think that the Protector was ever cut because the only version that was cut was the Hong Kong version because they just cut out all the nudity.
Oh, what? Oh, yeah, there is a lot of nudity in the American version.
Yeah, the American version there is a lot of nudity.
I was a bit shocked. What's Jackie Chan doing in this film? Smut.
Yeah, it's the only ever time that Jackie Chan ever used the F word as well.
Oh.
Yeah, give me the fucking keys.
Oh, there you go. There is a. He's not kidding. He's got a 4-pack. Is that the? Oh, he's got the first Blackjack Returns. Look.
Oh wow,
that was a cracking film. The first one. I don't know what the second one was like. Well, that's a good point. I did do Mamma Mia, and there were no ladies in the audience for that one either. But maybe that's because I was singing worse than Pierce Brosnan.
That's saying everything.
Right, let's wrap this up. So you've got Kung Fu. Was it Kung? I can't remember. Was it Kung Fu February, Kung
Fu-
February.
February, which is like
February, that's
and I'm doing a
that is my puns.
yeah, I'm doing like top 50 kung fu movies. So it's gonna be like a 10 part video, 10
I can imagine so. 'Cause
series
there's
of
like
10 videos. Just
thousands of them.
discussing 50 kung fu movies that I've watched that I really love. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. So
Yeah, cool
I'm
beans.
going to be speeding through them because I've just finished one and editing it and everything, done
Oh,
the thumbnail as well. So
oh,
that's going to be up my channel soon.
there we go.
And then I've got the going to start. I'm going to probably shoot the second one tomorrow, and I'm trying to see if I could maybe get it out, get it all out in February, but who knows?
It's a short month,
Maybe
unfortunately.
because it's a short month, and also I want to make sure that I get my get some videos ready for March as well. I mean, you got International Women's Day, so I'm going to do like an International Women's Day movie, just video, just to kind of like cover some like yeah, something to do with the women and come February. That's it, man. That's
He
the
knows.
that's
I
the
can't
thing.
fucking spell or pronounce it. Weekend at Bernie's, an ideal watch. Long as it's not the second one.
Oh god,
I'm going to finish the movie now. Jewel of Fists. Ooh. Is that an adult film? Don't know that
no, that's a. I think that's a Shaw Brothers action kung fu movie. Yeah.
one. All right. Have a great night as well. Going to spend a lot of fun checking out some of these films out. Yes, definitely check out Sid's channel for recommendations. For some reason, Point Break and Inception weren't in the top 10 action films of his list, but can't be helped.
Well, Point Break was in my top 50. Yeah, it was in my top 50. Inception, I see that more as like a science fiction movie than an action movie.
Yeah.
So
No, you and Ricky are both wrong. Anyway,
it was more of a kind of sci-fi thriller. It was like more like a sci-fi hype kind of movie, but it's got some good action in it. But
thank you,
I
Ian.
don't see it as like a kind of like a conventional type of action movie. More kind of leans more into the sci-fi.
All right, I'll put in sci-fi next time. Thank you, Michael Madison. Yes, I'm a bit bunged up, but it's getting better. Anyway, take care. Thanks to Sid, and I'll see everyone tomorrow night for some retro
Yeah,
gaming.
send me
I
the
think.
video as well. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no worries. Here we go.